Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic, and I want to welcome you to my channel, Opinion Stated, where I give unfiltered, opinionated sports takes. Let's go. Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic. I want to welcome you back to my channel, Opinion Stated. And man, I've got a really interesting episode planned for you today. If you have been paying attention to the news, then you are aware that present President Donald Trump has made some statements regarding the Washington Commanders and them changing their name back to the Washington Redskins, which he didn't feel like they should have changed in the first place, trying to stay out of that arena. As a politician, he didn't think while Obama was sitting president that a president should be weighing in on such things. However, as president, he is weighing in on his own. So we're going to dig a little bit into that here in this episode, and some information from the Native American Guardians Association article that I found on their website, which speaks to their support for the name Redskins. But before we dive deep into this content, do me a huge favor. Like this video if you haven't done so already. Liking the video helps us cruise along algorithm avenue, helps us get into the presence of individuals just like yourself who might be interested in this kind of content. Also, subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel and clicking that notification bell helps you to stay in the loop as to when our newest episodes are uploaded. And so, again, without further ado, I am entitling today's episode, Reclaim the Name Redskins or Else. Reclaim the name Redskins or Else. And so, again, Trump has made waves by making comment statements, etc., surrounding the Redskins name and wanting them to ownership to change the name back, citing that he will not approve their stadium rebuild. So the old RFK Stadium, where the Redskins played for many seasons in Washington, D.C., actually located in Washington, D.C., as opposed to the stadium where they're playing now, which is outside of D.C. in Maryland. But he stated that he will not stamp the rebuild of the stadium and the move back to D.C. unless they change the name back to the Redskins, citing the historical implications. Also, the connection to the natives who, obviously are and have, historical significance tied into the name in terms of not just the name itself, but also, their pride and heritage attached. So I want to get into just the statement that President Trump made himself, which is, and he tweeted this actually, the Washington whatevers should immediately change their name back to the Washington Redskins football team. There's a big clamoring for this. Likewise, the Cleveland Indians, one of 6 original baseball teams with a storied past. Our great Indian people in massive numbers want this to happen. Their heritage and prestige is systematically being taken away from them. Times are different now than they were 3 or 4 years ago. We are a country of passion and common sense. Owners, get it done. And so, obviously his, again, views have been made known on wanting the team to change his name back to the Redskins, citing that they shouldn't have never changed it because, the name is steeped in a rich heritage and respect for the natives. Some people think, of course, otherwise. And not just because Donald Trump is commanding so now, but before the name was even changed, there are many who, feel like the name comes with negative connotation, that it's associated with negativity. In fact, upon doing research prior even to doing this episode, I read through so many articles, from the early 2010s, or from like 2011, 2012, 2013, where they, were just, I guess, making a case, and a strong case, as to how the name was derogatory, how it was disrespectful, and how or why it needed to be changed. And while doing this research, I also found an article from the Native American Guardian Association, which I want to get into. If you want to check out the article itself, you can do so by logging on to nagaeducation.org. The website also is listed here. I've tried in the past to link articles to the description portion of the video, but for whatever reason, YouTube started flagging me saying that I could not do that. So you'll have to go directly to the website to find the article, because I don't want to get another flag. But digging into the article here, misconception: Redskins/Red Men is racist. 90% of Native Americans disagree with you/that statement. Redskins Red Men is a Native American iconic name and is revered by the vast majority of Native Americans and general public alike. Redskins Red Men represents honor, respect, and pride for Native American culture. Redskins, Redmen, is and has been a self-identifying term for natives since the early 1800s. Context and intent matter. Activists intend to make Redskins, Redmen a pejorative term. NAGA disagrees and chooses to elevate and reclaim the name Redskins, Redmen. School boards and sports organizations have the opportunity to make this word officially hateful or honorable by their actions for this generation and all those that follow. Choose wisely and keep this word from ever hurting others. Native names and imagery are protected, defended, and saved by the Native American Guardians Association. Educate, not eradicate. Learn more here, once again, at nagaeducation.org. As you can see, the image on the screen also says, reclaim the name Redskins. This comes directly from their website. Continuing in the article, Redskins was originated by Native Americans to refer to themselves. The logo was designed and approved by Native American leaders, and the vast majority of both Native Americans and the public revere the name. It's not a term that the white man created. It's actually a term that the Indians themselves created. I just think we have people in this country that try and gin up problems that don't exist. This a quote from Chief Robert Two Eagles Green of the Patawomek tribe. Redskins, or red people, are the most authentic terms as the Native Americans used a color system to identify others. In the late 16 and 1700s, the term was first used by Native Americans to self-describe and distinguish themselves from the white man and black man. Redskins was first used as an inclusive expression of solidarity by multi-tribal delegations. Some early written recordings of the use of the word Redskins. Number one, in 1812, Chief Meskwaki Black Thunder is quoted, "I turn to all, Redskins and Whiteskins, and challenge an accusation against me." Quote number two, in 1822, it is recorded that Big Elk, chief of the Omaha tribe, self-described himself as a Redskin in conversation with President James Monroe. "I am almost the only Redskin opposed to war," he said. The historical Redskin actually has nothing to do with the color of race of the Indian at all. It is specific to those early red-painted native warriors who were known for their bravery, skill, and fighting spirit. The red men were red-painted warriors ready for battle. Redskin is derived from Native Americans' use of the blood root plant and dye as ceremonial preparation for war. Redskin tribes used it to cover their shaven heads, arms, torsos, and legs. They believed this color would protect them like a spiritual suit of armor, in a belief that they had made a connection with their war spirits who would guide them and provide strength and courage. Red symbolized blood, energy, and power. Redskins during a certain period of history was used as a pejorative term. It has long since been elevated to a term of respect, admiration, and reverence. As with many words in our language, intent, tone, and context play a part in how words are interpreted. Anyone calling Redskins racist when it's used as a self-identified Native American term simply because it's used positively is an act of finding the worst in it. Ignoring its intent, tone, and context deliberately misinterprets its use. Why? When 90% of Native Americans feel indifferent or feel differently. They have the right to elevate the term, and we have a duty as a community to state our intent and context with the blessings of groups like the Native American Guardians Association or Guardians Association, who represent saving and defending Native imagery in a positive way. Ironically, a more socially acceptable term is American Indian, which was a mislabel due to Columbus thinking he reached India. Yet, Native Americans have little objection to that term, and no one is calling for the extinction of that name. American Indian is used interchangeably with Native American and is even a self-identifier for the NCAI, the National Council of American Indians. So why can you ignore Native American opinions on Redskins? The name Redskins was chosen in 1933 to honor Native Americans in general and the coach and 4 players at the time who were Native American. And that in 1971, Coach George Allen consulted with the Red Cloud Indian Fund on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation when designing the logo. I want to go back to really quick because while I was doing the research, there are some mixed kind of reports as to whether the owner at the time when the franchise was moved from Boston to Washington decided to change the name to Redskins to differentiate between the Boston Braves, because the team was called the Braves at the time, but the name was changed from that to Redskins. And the mixed reports, I say, cite that the owner did not choose the name Redskins, despite the coach at the time being Native American and 4 players from the team. So that's a bit of a discrepancy with what they're saying here. But I'm inclined to go with what what NAGA is saying here. I would imagine their research department is much more vast than mine. Back to the article. 2 national political polls. The first in 2004 by the National Annenberg Election Survey, and another in 2016 by the Washington Post, came up with almost identical results. When a respondent identified themselves as Native American, both polls asked the professional football team, and Washington calls itself the Washington Redskins. As a Native American, do you find that name offensive, or doesn't it bother you? In both polls, 90% responded that they were not bothered, 9% that they were offended, and 1% gave no response. The name United Negro College Fund is not racist and universally accepted as an honorable name. The NAACP, National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, is not racist nor derogatory. The LGBTQ community and those that respect them have reclaimed the words gay and queer. Their use is not derogatory. The term cowboys, which originated from black slaves that worked the cows, is revered by black and white people alike. What do all these examples have in common? That Redskins and Native Americans don't. The right to elevate a name, have their own opinion, and the right for intent, context, and tone to determine if the term is positive or negative. The Native American Guardians Association supports rank and file Native Americans, their intelligence, and decision-making ability as a people. Native Americans should be respected by society for their overwhelmingly mandated opinions. Again, this article published on the NAGA website, nagaeducation.org. I encourage you to educate yourself, check out the article itself. And I wanted to share that article, obviously, because like I said, it's just a lot of scuttle. Most people are kind of judging, Trump in this regard. I don't agree with, I'll be hard pressed to find some things with Trump that I agree with, to be honest, but this, when I heard about, his comments and his stance on having the Redskins change their name back, as a lifelong Redskins fan, I'm for it. I'm like, yeah, knowing that it's not offensive and offenses being taken by native tribes obviously matters and it means something. And so it's good to read that, this organization is not bothered by it, by and large, and they want to reclaim the name Redskins to actually, use it and have it as a self-identifier. And I think that that's a very powerful thing. As far as the way that Trump is levying, I refuse to build a stadium for you guys or sanction it being built unless you change the name back. Strong arm tactics being used, sure. But again, I wanted to say that, my agreement or the disagreement that's, being offered by many in, public and private spaces should have little to do with your thoughts that Trump is off base here or that Trump is doing something else that is just kind of, against status quo. It is not a arrogant decision, I feel like, on his part to want the name to be changed back, period. Levying the build of the stadium is a totally different, conversation in terms of, that as a tactic, but his desire to have the heritage of natives recognized and celebrated in that name for that franchise and also, others in professional sports is not that far off base. And so with that, I say, if it's good enough for the Native American organizations and tribes alike and the people alike, respectfully, then it's good enough for me as a fan. Bring back the Redskins name. Not sure if it'll actually happen. I know that it took a lot to rebrand and to change the name, etc., man. But no better time like the present to put things back the way that they were, especially because it's honorable, noble, and respectful of a people, and a people who are also likewise calling for the name to give respect and honor to their heritage and their lineage. So that's been the basis of this episode. Bring back the Redskins, fresh in time for football season. Typically, I will give my basketball takes, but with football season fast approaching, obviously you can see the background and the graphics have changed a little bit. So I'm going to make some space to give, not just my basketball takes, but also, some football takes as the season progresses as well. And we get closer to the preseason kicking off. So yeah, if you haven't done so already, like the video, as I said, man, subscribe to the channel. I look forward to catching you guys in the next episode. Until then, take care of yourselves. Blessings.